Here's a hypothetical. A fire breaks out at a local arena during an event. People are evacuated. There's damage. Thankfully, no one is seriously hurt. Now, the next morning, you turn on the news. One outlet runs the headline, "Government safety inspections failed. Arena fire exposes regulatory negligence." Another outlet runs, "Landlord's negligent maintenance blamed for arena fire." Same event, same fire, same facts on the ground, but two completely different stories. Here's the question. Which one do you believe? And, more importantly, why do you believe it? That's what we're pondering today. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Self-Control from Fitness to Flourishing. Every story told to you has a perspective baked in. Every single one. The media outlets telling you about the arena fire aren't necessarily lying. The facts they're reporting might be accurate, but they're selecting which details matter. They're choosing which angle to emphasize. They're deciding what the story means. One outlet focuses on government failure because that fits their narrative about regulatory overreach. The other focuses on the landlord because that fits their narrative about corporate negligence. Both are telling a true story, but they're telling different stories from the same set of facts. And this isn't just about the news. This is everywhere. Influencers are storytellers. They're selecting which moments of their lives to show you, which angles make them look best, which narrative about success or happiness they want you to believe. Well-meaning friends are storytellers. They're telling you stories about who you are, what you're capable of, what you should want. Even the algorithms on your phone are storytellers. They're selecting which information to show you based on what will keep your attention. Everyone's a storyteller, and they're all competing for your belief. Now here's the thing. This isn't evil. It's not necessarily manipulative. It's just how communication works. You can't tell a story without choosing a perspective. You can't communicate without selecting which details matter. But most people don't realize they're receiving a perspective. They think they're receiving facts. They think they're getting the truth. And that's where the problem starts. You don't just passively receive narratives and then forget about them. You internalize them. They become part of how you see the world. Think about it. If you hear the arena fire story from the government failure angle repeatedly, you start to believe that government oversight is the real problem. You start to see other news through that lens. You start to pay attention to stories that confirm that narrative. You start to ignore stories that contradict it. Your attention shifts. Your beliefs shift. Your actions shift. Before you know it, you're not just believing a story. You are living according to that story. You're voting based on it. You're talking to others about it. You're making decisions based on it. The narrative has shaped your reality. This is exactly what Epictetus, the ancient Stoic teacher, was talking about in the last episode. Remember? It's not the event that disturbs us. It's our impression of the event. It's the story we tell ourselves about it. But here's where it gets tricky with external narratives. You are not just telling yourself the story. Someone else is telling it to you, and they have a stake in what you believe. So how do you protect yourself? How do you stay conscious instead of just absorbing whatever narrative comes your way? This is where the cool story, bro checkpoint comes in. Before you accept a narrative from outside, before you let it shape your attention, your beliefs, your actions, pause and ask yourself 4 questions. First, who's telling this story? What's their background? What's their incentive? What do they have to gain from you believing this? Second, what perspective are they coming from? What's their worldview? What do they already believe? How is that shaping the story they're telling? Third, what details are they leaving out? Every story is incomplete. What's not being said? What complexity is being simplified? What nuance is being lost? And fourth, what do they want me to believe or do? What's the point of this story? What action or belief are they trying to create in me? These 4 questions are your checkpoint. They're your cool story, bro moment. And here's the thing. This isn't about becoming cynical. It's not about distrusting everything and everyone. It's about conscious choice instead of non-conscious absorption. Remember what Epictetus said. Wait a while for me, my impression. Let me see what you are and what you are an impression of. Let me test you. That's exactly what you're doing when you ask those 4 questions. You are testing the narrative. You're examining it. You're deciding whether to accept it or not. And here's the beautiful part. You're not trying to control the narrative. You're not trying to stop people from telling stories. You're not trying to change how the world works through narrative. You're just choosing. You're exercising virtuous self-control. In this case, your power to decide what you believe. That's it. That's the exercise. And when you do this consistently, something shifts. You stop being a passive receiver of other people's stories. You become an active chooser. You start to see the narratives for what they are. Perspectives, not truths. Selections, not complete pictures. You get your power back. So here's what you can do. Pick one piece of external information today. It could be a news story. It could be a social media post. It could be something someone told you. It could be an advertisement. Just pick one and ask yourself those 4 questions. Who's telling this story? What perspective are they coming from? What details are they leaving out? What do they want me to believe or do? Just notice what shifts when you examine the narrative instead of just accepting it. Notice how your understanding changes. Notice how your reaction changes. You don't have to do anything with that information. You don't have to argue with anyone or change your mind. Just notice. That's the practice. The external world is full of storytellers. They're competing for your attention. If they can get your attention, they might be able to get your belief. And if they can get your belief, they might be able to get you to take action. Your power isn't in controlling what stories exist out there. You can't do that. There will always be narratives. It's how our human brains interpret the overwhelming yet limited sensory input available to make sense of the world, predict outcomes, and connect with others. But you have the power to choose which ones you accept and how you respond to them. When you pause, when you examine, when you ask, is this really true? What perspective is this coming from? What am I not seeing? You take back control. You stop being shaped by the narratives. You start shaping your own experience. That's how you apply your discernment to the external world. But here's what most people miss. The most powerful storyteller in your life isn't out there in the world. It's not the news. It's not social media. It's not what other people are telling you. It's inside, in your own mind. You have a story about who you are, a story about what you're capable of doing, a story about your past, your present, your future. And your brain is constantly telling you that story, most of the time without you even realizing it. In the next episode, we're diving into the narratives you tell yourself. And we're going to explore how understanding that can transform your entire life. That's it for today. Catch you next time.